Hello, my friends. It's your girl Kim, and I am here for week 28 of my wellness journey. Week 28 going into week 29, and I am safely back home from traveling in both Houston and Dallas, Texas, and just happy to be back home and to be back in a space where I have control over my eating and my exercise regimen. Uh, it's difficult at times when you travel as much as I do for work to be able to, monitor your eating. Again, like I said, I make healthy choices, and it's wonderful because sometimes we have to be able to do that, to be able to make the healthy choices that we need to make, even when we're far from home. But it also affects my exercise as well. I was giggling to myself because I have some wrist weights, and what I've been doing is I put the wrist weights. I couldn't get that out. I put the wrist weights around my water bottles, and I use that when I'm doing my strength training while I'm out of town. I have 15-pound weights that, no, 10-pound weights, I'm sorry, that I use at home. I'm going to be upgrading to 15-pound weights soon. But I was using the 10-pound weights, using those at home. And I can't carry those on the plane, in my luggage. I can't have an extra, 20 pounds on there because my clothes, trust me, are enough weight. And then anything that I bring back. So, it's important to improvise and to do things a little different. And I think I mentioned that last week. But let's get to my stats for this week. I am holding steady at 187.0 pounds, just holding there. I'm just in a holding pattern. And I've said that, and I just refuse to get discouraged because, like I said, I'm not a slave to the scale. I'm monitoring it so that I can see changes, during my wellness journey for this first year. So that's what I've been doing. I've been tracking it for that reason. But I am not a slave to what it says. I'm looking again at how I'm looking and how I'm feeling, and I'm seeing all kinds of definition that's coming into my arms, and I know that, the muscle tone is there. What's interesting is now I'm at the stage where I'm seeing toning in my legs, I'm seeing toning in my arms, and then I've got that little jiggly part that's here on my belly, and it's getting smaller as time goes by. So I'm seeing it starting to, to come into one little pool of fat. and you want it to disappear, but it doesn't, you know. But the thing is that I'm doing things to tone. I've added a little bit of apple cider vinegar and a little bit of lemon into my water, but I'm continuing to drink my water as I've mentioned before because I travel so much and I'm doing trainings during the course of the day. I don't get to drink as much water, so when I'm back home, I'm back on that grind of making sure that I get my gallon of water in per day. And so that's important to do too. It's not going the off course just because you're in a different place. It's just making wise choices while you're out there, and that's something that's important to remember. You may not be in a space where you have access to the things that you have, but you still have choices, and you have opportunities to make healthy choices. If you're out and you're at a party and people are drinking, you still have the option to drink water. Or if you want something with a little more effervescence, you want something a little sparkle, then go ahead and have that Diet Coke or that Coke Zero or something that's going to have 0 calories but give you that feeling that you're having something a little more exciting than water. It's all about making healthy choices. It's all about having a healthy mindset and knowing that there is a goal in mind that you've set. I've still got pounds to go and I'm going to continue to march forward. But as I'm doing that, I'm making sure that I am being consistent in making those positive choices. And it doesn't mean that sometimes you're not going to fall off course. But if you do, you get back up and you continue going. You don't continue to fall deeper into a hole. You come out of that, you know? And then you start looking at, if you're having issues where you're plateauing, start looking at, okay, what are some things that I've changed that I can do differently? You know, I mentioned a couple of weeks back that, as my menstrual cycle came, I wanted a piece of chocolate, so I had a piece of dark chocolate. Then I found that after my cycle was over, I kept eating little pieces of dark chocolate, and I had to say, okay, that's something that I did different that I wasn't doing before. So when I finished that bar, that was it. It was going back to what I was doing. So those are some of the things that happen. You'll have some times where you'll go off course a little bit, and then it's just going to be a matter of you saying, what do I need to do differently? What have I been doing? What may be the cause of that plateau? And then if it's that I need to reduce the amount of calories, then I need to go ahead and do that and start the process. Not just say, oh, I'm not losing weight, I'm giving up. No, start looking at those cycles. That's why it's important to have things like My Fitness Pal and to document certain things so that you can see those patterns and those trends and see what happened that may have caused you to plateau. So it's important to do that. Check things out, check in with yourself, and make the adjustments that are necessary so you can continue in your journey successfully. So that is all that I have for this week. I look forward to sharing my stats with you for next week. And until I see you the next time, I say peace.